Okay, we're going to get started here. Can you guys hear me? All right, welcome Rachel, welcome Micah. How are you guys? Good. All right, we're starting a new mod. You guys ready for a new class? Great, it's nice to have you guys here. This is DES114, Print Production and Color Theory. This is our first lecture for week 1. We're going to go through some housekeeping stuff at first, but we'll get into the demonstrations as we go forward. So it's just nice to have you guys here. Let me see if I can turn on my camera here real quick. See if you can see me. Hi, can you see me? Hi. It's always nice to see your instructor in the beginning and introduce myself. I'm actually in my daughter's room. I just moved into a new place, so I'm kind of stuck in this room while everything gets moved around. Hi, guys. So I just wanted to show you me, and I'm going to stop this here just so I don't burn up the memory of our video here. It just creates huge files, so I want to just show my face at first, and it's just nice when you're an online student, you don't usually get that face-to-face experience. So, all right, well, just a few things on the agenda here for week 1. Just do introductions. Don't forget, you guys, post your intros. And I know some of you guys forget that. It just is so redundant after a while. But it's great to do so because I might not have had you in previous classes. So, you might be a new face, maybe not. But, it's great to network with with each other anyway. Keeping in touch with your fellow classmates even after graduation is key. I know I've benefited a lot from that. You just never know. Doors open when you have connections. So always kind of keep each other close even when you graduate. All right, so we're going to go over some announcements, syllabus, grading, Canvas, look at the course, talk about a few things. We have a little bit of a different discussion I guess the way we do discussions in this class. I'm not sure if you guys have done this as of yet, so we'll take a look at that. And we're going to go over just what the class is about, the color wheel. You guys will be creating a color wheel for this project coming up in week 1. We'll talk about additive and subtractive color models and all of the color relationships, complementary, triadic, analogous, and split complementary. So some of this might be a review for some of you, and it's always good to have a refresher for sure. But as we go forward, you'll kind of understand how it all goes together within your projects, how important color is, knowing how to convert your project files appropriately and correctly for specific purpose. And that's one of the things that's kind of tricky when you're out there in the real world and you're getting your files ready for print. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So this is the class that you're going to learn how to create a print-ready file that is ready to go for specific purposes, whether it be a web ad or a print ad. So it's kind of good to know the differences. Before we get into learning more about you guys, I just wanted to give you a little introduction to myself. Again, my name is April Biss. You guys can just call me April. I'm from Pittsburgh, PA. I have a Bachelor of Science degree in graphic design. Went to a little private school, LaRoche College, for 4 years. And immediately after that, I got my first advertising agency job, which was a great experience and kind of led me into other jobs around when I moved to Ohio and also Florida. I had a actual teaching job when we lived in Tampa, Florida. I actually taught for 2 years on ground, and that kind of pushed me forward to get my master's degree in graphic design. So I went, and I always like to tell you guys this because I can relate to where you guys are. I did my master's all online as an online student. So I kind of can relate to what you guys are going through. It's different than being an on-ground student. It's totally different experience, especially in design. It's a little different. So hopefully with that experience of being an online student, I can give you guys, some good tips and some things to kind of, can relate to you guys with. I have about 18 years working experience in the design industry. I've worked for advertising agencies, publication companies, and actually do freelance as well. I have about 5 years plus teaching design in higher education. And I have my own design studio as well, just do freelance work. I have a daughter, she's 3 years old, Amelia May, and a dog as well, Santino. And if you guys ever want to check out my work, there's my link to my Behance site. If you want to kind of see what I've done in the past. It's not all of my work, but it's a good kind of insight to what I've done throughout the last probably 5 to 8 years. Okay, so a little bit about me. What about you guys? Where are you located? Where are you guys currently living? Major, experience with graphic applications, and your career goals. Okay, so Rachel, you are in KCMO, Michigan. Good. It's kind of neat to see where everybody is. I've only had one student that actually lived about 45 minutes away from me, and that was the first time ever that I had a student that close. But it's kind of cool when you figure out how many students I've had and just who's close to you, and you just never know when you run into somebody as well. Cool. All right, so you guys are all what, graphic arts majors, I'm assuming? Yep. And what is give me kind of a scale of I'll say 1 to 5. Your comfort level, say in Illustrator, 1 being not so good, 5 being, pretty experienced. 3? Okay, and just be honest, Rachel, graphic arts major, 5+ years self-taught designer freelance. Oh, cool, 1 to 2 years. Okay, great. All right, I'm a big Etsy fan for sure. You'll have to give us your website link if you would like. I've had other students that actually had shops as well, and it's pretty neat to see that side. If you do your introduction, you can actually post it there too if you want people to kind of check out your shop. Very cool. All right, so yeah, if you guys don't have that much experience, that's okay. Be honest. It kind of helps me kind of align the way that I teach to you guys. I usually have a mixed assortment of people who have different experiences. So, I'm used to kind of being versatile in how I teach, the programs and everything. What about in design? On a comfort level, where are you at from 1 to 5? Okay, Micah, 5. So you're pretty good with that? Pretty experienced there. That's good. 4. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I think a lot of the programs are pretty similar in tools and navigation. It's just they have different purposes. So, all right. And those are 2 of, I think we're going to actually be in Photoshop as well, just for a little bit. But those are 2 of the main ones that we're going to be working on in this class. What about your career goals? What do you guys want to do when you leave here? Or what would you like to do? What's your goals? Just get a job, right? Not sure? That's okay. Expand your shop to an actual studio. Very cool. Okay, so you're going to apply your, what you've learned and with what you're working with now. That's very good. Well, good luck to you. And hopefully, throughout this process, you'll find your way for sure. Sometimes you don't know, and that's okay. You'll find your way. These classes definitely will keep you more aware of what's around you, maybe what you're more interested in, and I'll kind of guide you throughout. All right, well, it's great to learn about you guys, and like I said, don't forget to post your intro. You can, put pictures in there if you want, and just nice that's kind of a nice spot for you guys to really relate to one another if you want to share all that information, because it's not like we're walking into a classroom and seeing our each other, face to face. So it's always good to kind of get that in there so that, we can make it as relatable as possible. All right, so due dates, this is kind of the housekeeping stuff. So all assignments and assessments are due by Saturday. That's by midnight Mountain Time. For full credit, don't forget you guys have a week grace period, but during that grace period, it's 20% late deduction. So it's, it's definitely, you don't want to give up during that time because you still can get points, but just kind of keep that in mind. Once that week past the due date is over, though, I cannot accept any work past that time. That's just the university late policy. Week 4 assignments cannot be turned in late, and then your original discussion post is due by Wednesday before midnight Mountain Time. Don't forget to respond to at least 2 of your peers, due by Saturday by midnight, and you must post on at least 2 different days. Late discussion posts will not be accepted past the Saturday deadline for the week. So that's kind of important. Did you guys do this? I think I already know the answer to this, but did you do pack-back for your discussions last mod? Have any of you? Okay. So pack-back is a new discussion application that has been applied to Canvas recently. I believe I was teaching the first class that it was brought into last mod. Excuse me. So it was my first time last mod with that discussion software that's new. It's a new way of instead of actually answering a question that's posted in discussions, it's a new way of I guess you guys will be asking the questions. So it's something that you guys, you'll be reading through the prompts for your discussion, and I'll show you what that, all entails. And then you're going to come up with a question. And maybe this is something that you've thought about that is related to the discussion, that maybe something you've always thought about and were curious about and had questions about that relate to the subject, during that discussion post. And then you're going to answer that question yourself. You're going to research it. You're going to answer that question as best as you can with supportive outside resources and in your own words, and kind of break it down in that way. So it's almost like a mini thesis kind of paper in a way, but it's a neat approach to it, I think, because we're so used to having a question and then we answer that question and everybody answers that same question, and I think this kind of allows you guys to be a little bit more, I guess, get more out of the discussion that maybe you in the past that you were kind of directed towards one main question. So you may get more out of this because you're bringing up topics that you've always been maybe curious about, and everybody's going to be posting a different question, so you're going to get even more out of it in regards to that. There's a little video too, and we'll take a look at that on what that's all about, just the background about pack-back and the whole experience. But it's pretty cool. I think a lot of the students in the last mod really enjoyed the class. I got a lot of high responses and posts as far as the students that were participating. We had a really good turnout on all of the discussions. So I think it kind of worked in that regards to it's not the same old, so it's a different approach. All right, so as we go forward here, let's look at the course objectives, and this is basically what we're going to be accomplishing after the 4 weeks of this class. So when you're done with this course, you should be able to identify all parts of the color wheel and articulate common color relationships, differentiate between spot and process color application and appropriate spot and color usage. You can successfully work with PMS colors. That Pantone matching system is what that stands for, and define their unique features. Develop a personal branded print bid sheet for use on freelance print design jobs. Demonstrate mastery of creating packaged print ready InDesign files. That's pretty important to know. So if you already know it, then you're definitely a step ahead. Demonstrate mastery of basic InDesign layout skills, including paragraph styles, baseline grid, typography, and image frames. So basically, you guys are going to be creating this these identity pieces, kind of a campaign pieces to go together, so they should look cohesive. There'll be a poster, a logo will be provided. You guys will be creating different color schemes based on that logo and the target audience and the brand. And then you're going to create a poster and then also a tri-fold brochure. So that's kind of the sum of all parts there. All right, so let's talk about, what it means to like succeed in this course, because, obviously you guys have your schedules, and that's what's nice about being an online student. It's a little bit more flexible, but you definitely have to have self-responsibility in terms of getting your stuff done, and reading the appropriate resources that are given to you every week. So read the announcements. That's one big thing. I do post important announcements during the week that could help guide you and kind of give you extra supplemental resources. Include links, reminders, scheduling. If anything changes in scheduling, I'll let you know. And this is how I communicate with you guys. So that's really important. I mean, obviously I can email you as well, call you, but this is how I do it in a kind of a general way. Participate in the discussions each week. Make sure that you try to get your discussion in as soon as possible. I used to think when I was an online student, I used to think that discussions were kind of a waste of time, but I kind of was a little wrong at the end of my school year. I thought, I really got more than I thought out of those discussions. And that's only because the people in my class actually were, they made it what it was. They're the ones that showed me a different perspective in the discussions and really put their all in responding to my discussions, and vice versa. So you make it what it is, so you can get as much as you want out of that. So definitely participate in the discussions each week. Complete assignments on time. This is common sense. I mean, you guys should be, your college students, you should be pretty much on track with this, hopefully, because when you're out there and working, if something doesn't work out and you have a late job going through, you might definitely lose a client or a project or a job, which is pretty important. So why not start the habit now of getting your projects in on time? And make sure you're doing the daily checkpoints. Those are free 5 points every day that you guys can add to your final total there, and it all adds up. So definitely do that. Plus, it gives you another side of what you guys are going to be learning in this class. Gives you other supplemental resources to learn from. Attend the live sessions. They're not mandatory, but if you can't be here, listen to the recording. I pretty much say it's kind of like the meat and potatoes behind what we do, because they aren't mandatory. I think they should be, just because there's just a lot of information that we go over, especially demonstrations. Could save you a lot of time and frustration. So the demonstrations are definitely good. So we will be demonstrating how to do your assignments in each lecture. So if you're having issues, definitely listen to the recording if you can't make it live. Come to the multi-session if you need help. I have mine going on, and I'm going to go to the next slide here, tomorrow, and I'll show you those times here. And communication is key. So if you guys I want you guys all to succeed. Obviously, that's what I'm here for. So I really want you guys to do well in this class. But if there's something that happens, and I understand life happens for sure. I mean, I just went through moving, so I have been going through a lot of chaotic times right now. But so I understand. Just send me an email, contact me, let me know what's going on as soon as possible. And that way I can be more flexible with you guys going forward. All right, so our lectures are Monday, unless something changes, but Monday from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 if you're Mountain Time. If you need a breakdown of the time, Mountain Time, Eastern Standard Time, all the different time zones, they are listed in Canvas. So if you're Eastern Time, like I am, you're starting at 2:30. Multi-sessions are Tuesday from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Mountain Time, and these are not mandatory. They're just open for you guys to come in if you're having issues. It's kind of like a one-on-one tutoring. I will be on from 6 to 8 a.m., just kind of sitting there waiting for you guys. If you need to pop in, I'm just kind of waiting. So If you need to, come on in, show me your work. If you're having issues, I can help you out. If not, then, you know, so be it. Just it's there for you guys to take advantage of. Okay, so any outside help, you know, the Student Success Center is open with tutoring available and no appointment is necessary. And so all that good stuff. Just let me open up Canvas real quick and show you just a few things before we go on. And I know a lot of you guys are pretty privy to what's here, but let's take a look here at my screen. It's really small, so I have to stretch this out. All right, so just like I was talking about before, live sessions here are listed, and these are your time zones. So if you're kind of confused what your time zone is, you can go right here. It's just a little breakdown. Don't forget, in your recorded sessions here, check out every week. So week 1, you guys should be listening to this first lecture first. This is a pre-recorded lecture. And then after I'm done here today, I'm actually going to post the link here for today's lecture. So there'll be 2 videos that you would have to watch if you're not here live. Same thing for week 2. And let's see, week 2, I think, has 2 parts. So part 1, part 2, and then whatever we talk about on week 2 will be posted there, week 3 and week 4. Some students are a little confused where all that is. So that's why I wanted to point that out. If you need to contact me and say you don't know what my email address is, all you have to do,